Good afternoon or good evening, Encinal athletes and families. Welcome to the 9th annual Encinal Boosters Athletic Awards. My name is Kevin Gorham, and among the many hats I wear at Encinal, I'm also a teacher and assist athletic director Lonnie Molina with athletics. I'm honored to be here today to honor all our amazing athletes. This is definitely not the happily ever after we were hoping for, but I'm confident that this moment in time will make you stronger, wiser, and appreciative about the small things in life. Remember the joys of socializing with friends at school and the excitement of putting on a uniform and playing the sport you love, or just showing up for practice. All things we miss dearly, especially as they were taken away in the blink of an eye. All of these things will return, but this moment in time should give us all pause and a newfound love for the things we used to take for granted. Seniors, as you move on into the next chapters of your life, I would like to leave you with these 3 thoughts. Live a life worthwhile with no regrets. We only have one opportunity at this. There are no makeup exams. Live as if there were no tomorrow. Love. Unfortunately, there is a lot of hate and inequity in the world. Given the civil unrest of the recent needless deaths of Breonna Taylor and George Floyd, remember a life of empathy, humility, and love is far more meaningful and will bring you great joy. Laugh. Don't take yourself or life too seriously. Have fun. The best is yet to come. And always remember, no goal is too high if you climb with care and confidence. I wish you many blessings along your journey. Stay safe and don't be a stranger. Now please welcome our inspirational speaker from the class of 2016, who was an amazing softball player during her tenure as a Jet, Isabella Deathridge.
Hello to all Jet student athletes, coaches, parents, teachers, administrators, and volunteers. My name is Isabella, and I graduated from Encinal High School as a member of the class of 2016. During my 4 years as a Jet, I was fortunate enough to play on the varsity volleyball, soccer, and softball teams. Over the course of my college career as a dual sport athlete, I have had many opportunities to reflect on how I got to where I am. And every time, I come back to my time at Encinal, not just within athletics, but also within the entire Jet community. While higher education did empower me with extensive knowledge about the world and tools to achieve my goals, it really was my time at Encinal as a student athlete that molded and solidified the values that represent my identity at the core, the values that guided me through every situation I encountered in college and now as an adult in the world. I'm going to read a letter I wrote to the current student athletes of Encinal and merely share a few transformative things that I have learned from my own experiences. Dear EHS student athletes, first and foremost, I want to congratulate you on completing your seasons in school year this year, even when the coronavirus pandemic exacerbated and presented new points of adversity for you as individuals and as a community. To all of the senior student athletes, I am so sorry that you had to miss out on what was supposed to be the most fun few months of high school, as well as the closure that comes from them. I am also a senior, and one of the things that I've been trying to remind myself is that although it is disappointing to have to miss out on a proper graduation ceremony, it does not take away from the achievement itself. The events at the end of senior year are merely a symbol and celebration of all of the incredible things you've accomplished over the last 4 years. I urge you to reflect on and be proud of all of the countless hours of training and studying you have dedicated to get here today, as well as the different challenges you have overcome in your relationships and in your personal life. Particularly to senior spring sport athletes like myself, our sports are deeply entangled with passion and our identities. And when my season this year was canceled, it was career ending. These last couple months, I have been doing my best to look at my entire athletics career as a whole, rather than this individual season. In doing so, my gratitude for athletics has grown, because each day I realize that sports give us opportunity, the opportunity to be great, the opportunity to learn from one another, the opportunity to set aside differences and work together towards a common goal, the opportunity to empower ourselves and each other, the opportunity to develop and garner tools that will help us achieve our goals, whatever they might be. And finally, the opportunity to shape our characters and how we view the world. To all student athletes, I encourage you to listen to and learn from your senior peers who understand too well right now how much every game and every practice and every time you see your friends in the hallways at schools counts, and that you should never take a single one for granted. I believe it's important that every athlete recognizes all of the opportunities that athletics have brought to their own life experiences, as well as the opportunities that they will present in the future. The impact of athletics goes beyond the field, the court, the pool, or the track. When I began my college athletics career, I was very results and winning driven. I've been named first team all conference and first team all West region, and I've broken multiple program records at my college. But by the end of my career, I realized I was a different athlete than when I started. I came to realize, especially during this 2020 season, that yes, the love for the game and the desire to be the best is what motivates us to physically push our bodies. But what really matters, and what I'm most proud of in retrospect of my own experience, is the way we use our voices, our competitive attitudes, and our passion to impact the lives of the people around us, whether they are teammates, family members, community members, or strangers. This year, particularly, has demonstrated to us that the world is so much bigger than sports, but that sports provide us with the skills and tools that will help shape our characters and our communities into the best version of themselves. I encourage you to hold tightly onto the passion and tenacity that you bring to every competition, and couple it with a strong foundation of empathy and understanding for each other that Encinal fosters, while actively looking for other areas in your life where you can apply them in a way that positively impacts the life of someone else, that gives someone else opportunity, that gives someone else hope. Feel grateful and confident in the person that athletics and Encinal have helped you become. And despite all of the uncertainty our communities are facing today, don't be afraid to take a bow for your accomplishments. Don't be afraid to take a stand for one another. And don't be afraid to take a knee, as a pledge to never stop using your passion to fight for what is most important, equity. Sincerely, Isabella. Congratulations to all of the Encinal Boosters Athletic Award winners and nominees. Thank you for your dedication to the JET program and the overall JET community. I know you'll carry the lessons Encinal and athletics have taught you into the world to positively impact others and continue to demonstrate the value of JET pride.
It's now time to announce the 9th Annual Boosters Athletic Award winners. Our outstanding nominees are Emma Laszlo, Shamil Youngblood, Michael St. Nicholas, Annalyn Garretts, Haley Pallister, Angelina St. Dennis, Pimjai Cullison, Aaliyah Smith, Bryce Augustine, Madeline McCaskill, Jariah Lewis, Yi Na Lin, Abigail Hall, Isaiah Smith, and Matthew Lynn. The 2019-2020 Female Athlete of the Year, winning a $250 scholarship, is women's volleyball player Madeline McCaskill. The 2019-2020 Male Athlete of the Year, also winning a $250 scholarship, is baseball player Jariah Lewis.
I'm very honored for the award. Encinal High School is very tough with all the great talent in sports. And for me, it's just a huge accomplishment because, like I said, all the great talent and great people. I'm very grateful for it. If I couldn't have done it without my family, I want to thank my family for being my number one supporters throughout the 4 years. They invested so much time into me and believed in my dreams, as well as my coaches. They've always pushed me and challenged me to become a better player, and they really shaped who I am today as a person off the field, as well as my teammates. They've been there for me during tough times and always put in the extra work with me outside of practice and on the weekends and everything. Being a student athlete, it's very tough for me. School and academics was very important to me. I want to thank my teachers and my counselors, making sure my grades are on point and everything. But leaving Encinal with a great achievement, it means a lot to me. And I'm just proud to say that I'll always be a Jet.
Our 2019-2020 Female Scholar Athlete of the Year, who will win a $500 scholarship is badminton Yi Na Lin and water polo player Abigail Hall.
Hello everyone, my name is Ina and I am very honored to accepting one of the Female Scholar Athlete of the Year awards. I would first like to thank my coach, Mr. Smith, for nominating me and for his continuous support, care, and mentorship throughout these past 4 years. I remember in my first season, I would never play a game against other players from the opposing team because I lacked confidence in myself. I just sat there and watched as they excelled in the matches, thinking that I could never be as skilled as them. My coach, Mr. Smith, although I was always reluctant, he still made an effort to encourage me to get onto the court to at least try out a set. And if it wasn't for him and my older sister, who kept me company during games and practices in my first year, I honestly don't know how the rest of my high school sports experience would have turned out. The first time I stepped onto the court to play an official match, I ended up losing. However, I didn't get discouraged and actually became a lot more motivated to improve so that I can win my next game. I started asking more experienced players on the team for advice and for tips, and I slowly found myself getting closer to them. And that's definitely going to be the thing I miss the most about being a part of a team. It's the friendship and bond that's developed through the common thrill of stepping onto the court, not knowing whether your opponent is going to best you, and just simply the love for the sport. And although the season got cut short, it was still a very memorable experience for me, getting to be one of the team captains and getting to know all the new members. I'd like to say thank you to the other 2 captains who worked hard with me to make the season as enjoyable as possible. And it's really such a shame that there wasn't enough time to get to know every single new member more personally, but I really wish that they'll continue playing badminton while still focusing on their studies. And to all the student athletes here at Encinal, work hard on the court and off the court, because even though it is difficult to manage both academics and sports, the 2 go hand in hand. The perseverance you develop playing a sport competitively is the same intrinsic motivation you need to succeed in your studies. Lastly, cherish every single time you step onto the court, every single exhilarating but maybe stressful game, and just every single season in general. Because even though it doesn't seem like it, these past 4 years go by extremely fast. So I'd like to say thank you to everyone who's been with me these past few years, my family, my friends, my teachers, my coach, and to the athletic directors who work hard to make sports such a vital part of Encinal and its students. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, I'm Abigail Hall. I've been on Encinal's swim and water polo teams for 4 years and I'm honored to be receiving this award. I couldn't have achieved what I did without the support of my coaches and my teammates, so thank you all so much for your help. While this is the end of my high school experience, I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about my beginnings here at Encinal, specifically in the athletic program. I haven't always been an athlete. I barely participated in athletics in middle school and as such had very little skill in any sport when I first started out here. I joined water polo barely knowing how to swim, and the following swim season wasn't much better. In fact, I have a fun story to tell you about my disastrous beginnings. It was freshman year, and only a couple weeks into the swim season. I'd had a season of water polo to help me develop my speed and my comfort in the water, but the specific strokes themselves were a whole other challenge. At the time, I was feeling pretty good about myself. I was starting to get the hang of actually moving with backstroke instead of just drowning in the middle of the pool. So I finished my lap, hit the wall, and look up, and my coach, Kyle Baldwin, is standing on the deck behind me. He turns to me and he says, "Abigail, that was the ugliest backstroke I've ever seen." Before you take that negatively, it was, and still is, my favorite interaction with my coach. At Encinal, we're fortunate to have a smaller population, and because of this, everyone has the chance to participate in athletics. I started completely from scratch, and yet I was received with open arms. My favorite part about Encinal's athletic program has always been the inclusivity. Not only can anyone join with any amount of experience, but everyone who joins is immediately considered family. Every single person I met during my years was kind, helpful, and eager to know more about me. I've learned more about myself from my coaches and teammates in 4 years than I ever could have learned on my own. They taught me about my own aptitude for leadership and helped me recognize how much of a difference I can make in the world. I'm beyond thankful for my experience, and I hope I can encourage others to take the same chances. While my last season was cut short, that only makes my existing memories all the more precious. I want to say thank you to Kyle, Lonnie, Pedro, Christian, Scheffler, and Amelia my coaches, for believing in me and pushing me to do my best. Thank you to the varsity girls water polo team for the most incredible last season, and thank you to my fellow Jets for coming to support me at games and meets. I've built a family here at Encinal, and while it's heartbreaking to leave, I'll never forget the experiences I've had here, and I'm excited for the rest of my life. I'll miss you all more than words can describe. Good luck, and I'll see you soon.
And our 2019-2020 Male Scholar Athlete of the Year, winning a $500 scholarship, is football player Isaiah Smith and badminton player Matthew Lynn.
Hi everyone, my name is Matthew Lin, and I'm one of the winners of the Male Scholar Athlete of the Year here at Encinal. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to my coach, Mr. Smith, and all of the athletic staff for this opportunity. I don't really know what to say in this speech, so I guess I can start off with why I joined the badminton team. Simply put, initially, no strong reason really. I was debating between joining either track or badminton during my freshman year, and I decided on badminton because my sister used to be on the team. So yeah, at first, I didn't feel that strongly about the sport. It became apparent to me that I was way out of my league. I was the bottom ranked player for the majority of my time during my freshman year, and I lost every single game that I played. It was quite obvious that I was not good at this sport, yet I persisted. I looked up to the varsity players and they gave me hope that through a lot of hard work and sweat, I can one day become just like one of them. And it is them that helped me realize my love for badminton, so I set out to accomplish my goals. I began watching videos, took notes during games, and asked my upperclassmen for advice. During the summer, I started a workout routine and got a job to pay for my weekly practice at a local badminton gym. The progress was slow, but I was improving. Soon enough, I was able to see my win rate slowly going up as I made it to varsity during my sophomore year. Honestly, I couldn't have done it without some of my greatest friends that I met through the badminton team. It's their continued support and help that elevated me to who I am now. So I'd like to give my tremendous thanks to all the people that helped me along the way. And honestly, it's the same for my academic journey. I began my middle school in America as an immigrant that could hardly form an English sentence. But during my toughest times, there were always amazing people in Encinal that lent me a helping hand. It's all thanks to them that I was able to overcome the challenges and become an honor student that's now heading to Berkeley. So thank you. It's saddening that the school year got cut short this year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And as a result, the badminton season ended prematurely as well. I was really looking forward to competing at WAC and NCS, but unfortunately, that's no longer possible. Nevertheless, I'm happy with the time I spent with Encinal and within the badminton team. I've formed some of the greatest memories and met people that I'm proud to be friends with. And I hope that next year, us Jets can soar to new heights, both academically and athletically. Go Jets!
Hello, Encinal High School athletic community. This is Lonnie Molina, the athletic director. I would like to take a minute to talk about some of the amazing accomplishments that our athletic programs had this year. But first, I would like to thank Isabella Dethridge for being our guest speaker. I'd also like to thank the Encinal High School Athletic Boosters Board, as well as all the parents, families, friends, coaches, and athletes who volunteered at the crab feed to help make it such a huge success this year. Without that support, sports at Encinal would not exist in the way that they currently do. So for our team accomplishments this year, we had 4 of our teams named as WAC League Championship teams. Our women's volleyball team went undefeated in league. Our women's cross-country team won their league, as well as our women's water polo team, who won league for the first time in school history. Our football team went undefeated in the WAC Foothill Division and became league champions. They also finished second place in the North Coast Section Championship Tournament. We had 4 individual athletes named as Players of the Year this year. For women's tennis, we had Isabel Brown-Leiden. For women's volleyball, we had Madeline McCaskill. And for football, we had the Offensive Player of the Year, Teddy Oliver, along with the Defensive Player of the Year, Josiah Nungalevu. Congratulations to all of our teams and to all of our athletes for your amazing accomplishments. To everybody out there who is part of a spring sport, I can only imagine what would have been possible if our seasons were allowed to finish as normal. Finally, I'd like to send a quick shout out to the 2 players who have committed to play in college, Isaiah Smith, who will play football for the University of San Diego, as well as Jariah Lewis, who will play baseball at USC. Your amazing accomplishments in and outside of the classroom obviously have been recognized, and we wish you so much luck and can't wait to see what you accomplish in the future. Another congratulations to all of our scholarship winners. You guys are all amazing student athletes, and we are so proud of you and so happy for you. Thank you all so much, and go Jets!